All right, this is Cheryl Bauer, and so what is it you wanted to work on?
I'm just really worried, and I don't want to let go of things, and I feel like I somewhat feel responsible because if I would have made her, you know, go home and not work so late.
So you still have a lot of energy tied up in that loss.
Do.
So that's what we should work on.
Yeah.
Because it's been 4 years?
4 years. It'll be 5 years this December.
Wow. So what happened?
She was in a car accident. She was going to finish collecting the presents for the Children's Bureau from the school. She had set that up. December was always her project. She was in Key Club, and she was on her way to the store, to Walmart, to get the final presents, and she was on a side road, pulled out onto 37, and I don't know if the car thought she thought they were turning, and she pulled out because there was a light just a little ways out, and she got T-boned.
Did she die instantly?
Yes.
So it was they were going fast.
Yeah, well, it's like 55 along there. They said he was speeding. He died. The driver of the other car died as well.
Oh my.
And her boyfriend that was in the car was the only survivor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have other kids?
I have a son who is 18, just graduated high school.
So he was younger.
Yes, he was younger. Yeah. So I had a child between Megan and Alex that died at birth.
So you had a stillborn.
And then on top of that, we were separated and going through a divorce, and
so So at age 2, Megan lost her first brother.
Right.
And her family.
Right. Right.
Wow.
So. And obviously we never got back together.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So does what's your son's name?
Alex.
Alex. So does Alex have a relationship with Don?
Yeah, he traveled most of their lives, and he lived in Japan until Megan started high school. And then he moved back because Megan kept hounding him. She wanted to have a dad, and she wanted to have a family and be able to visit him like most kids get to. So he moved back and said he would be here till they graduated high school. After Megan's accident, he almost moved back to Japan, which I'm so glad he didn't, because he denied Alex the whole pregnancy. He said, it's not mine, it's not mine, it's not mine. And then later accepted it, and you know, Alex has kind of been like, you know, almost yeah.
After Megan died, have you had any experiences where you thought she was like in a dream, or where she came to you, or anything?
I had one dream about a year ago where, because I just remember times where we would sit on my bed, especially after she got her job and she started realizing what the real world was about, and you know, she'd come in, we'd talk late at night about boys and work. And
she's the only person who went through everything that you went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was there when you went through your divorce, had a rough marriage, when you had the stillborn. She was the one who was always there.
And I hated that I put that on her at times, because she would have, I can't cry. She would always say, Mom, it's okay, it's okay. You know, it's gonna be okay.
So you need to be able to like let go of all of those mistakes, or whatever you perceive as mistakes.
Right.
All right, so we'll work on all that. Okay. I need you to uncross your legs. Okay, I'm gonna push on your arm because I do muscle testing.
Okay.
It's kind of a way of gauging what your body tells me.
Okay.
Or is saying about it. Okay. So we'll say, yeah. So the first thing I get that like what stage you're in on this, and you've probably heard all the stages of grief and all that. You're at the stuck place still, which is I call depression.
Yes.
So depression meaning that everything's still the same and it's not moving. You know, it's just like, even though I want it to be better, I don't move forward. I'm still back to where I was easily.
Right.
So we're gonna move you from that place first. So this is Megan's anger. So what we're first feeling is what your body picks up or perceives that Megan feels. So this is Megan's feeling of anger. And is it with you? No. Her anger, and it's about the accident. So yeah, so that means that it could mean a lot of things. It could mean that in that accident, when that happened, that she would have felt an emotion before even the time of death, that she's just angry because she knows she's not going to get to stay.
Right.
So angry because she died. So besides just because he died, what other anger would it be? Like, it's not anger because he couldn't stay or because she couldn't stay.
I think she had, especially with guys, she had the not trust issue because of her father, because he would always tell her he was going to get off the road and then that end of that year and he wasn't going to go back and he was never there for her. And then some of the boyfriends I dated, they always let her down and you know,
So
let me down.
Is that, so I want to know, so were Megan's emotional issues about her dad connected to the loss of this baby brother?
Right.
So even though it's not necessarily accurate, like in other words, as a 2-year-old, as she grew up, she had this impact of losing the baby brother and losing her dad,
Right.
but she's blaming her dad. So she's angry that her dad could be there and he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her anger with her father.
That makes sense.
So so the anger, that's what it is. It's because I died. Because the only reason I wouldn't be there for somebody is because I died. And anger, and there's an anger with dad because he could be there and he's not. I need you to say this.
I forgive myself for believing.
I can't love Megan
I can't love Megan
without feeling
without feeling
all of her anger.
all of her anger.
Because when she was 2,
Because when she was 2,
her baby brother died.
her baby brother died.
And she knew
And she knew
if he hadn't died, he'd be there for her.
if he hadn't died, he would be there for her.
And the only reason he wasn't there for her
And the only reason he wasn't there for her
was because he couldn't be.
because he couldn't be.
And I forgive her
And I forgive her
for feeling angry
for feeling angry
because her dad didn't die,
because her dad didn't die,
but he wouldn't be there for her.
but he wouldn't be there for her.
And then breathe. I forgive Megan
I forgive Megan
for feeling angry with her dad
for feeling angry with her dad
and angry about Donnie
and angry about Donnie
and angry about this accident.
and angry about this accident.
I give her permission to accept.
I give her permission to accept
It's not your fault.
it's not your fault.
You didn't do anything to cause this.
You didn't do anything to cause this.
I give Megan permission
I give Megan permission
to go into the light.
to go into the light.
I give myself permission
I give myself permission
to let go
to let go
of the family
of the family
that I wanted it to be.
that I wanted it to be.
So yeah, it's like some of what you've been feeling. Here's some cleaning. Some of what you've
I'm
been
sorry.
feeling is a lot of her feelings, which you've been working on your own, and you've probably done really good working on your own. You've just wondered, why don't I feel better?
Right.
Because you've been working on hers, like what she kind of didn't finish.
Right.
But I also felt like a real strong feeling of, because it's so important for her that people should be there
Yes.
for other people.
Yeah.
And so there's this anger. So in a sense, there was this feeling of, I'll just, even though I'm dying, I'm going to stay. And that's not going to work
Right.
for either one of you. So,
I just want her to be happy.
and there definitely was a shift, of, like you being able to say, I got everything I was supposed to get. And it's wonderful. So, how did you do? It's been 1 week.
1 week.
So how'd you do?
I did good.
So,
I've been more relaxed. I've tried to let things go and know that Megan is okay. And
yeah.
I still worry that she's, like, I felt like when I let her go, I let her go, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to let her go. So I've been a little nervous about that, but I know, like, she's still around, right?
Well, she's always in your head because you have time. She's a part of your life.
Right.
You just happen to know the definition of that part. There's a beginning and an end.
Right. Right.
But your life is your life. It's every bit that you've lived. So
Right.
she's there in your life all the time.
Right. Without this pattern,
I am free
I am free
to see open doors of opportunity
to see open doors of opportunity
that increase
that increase
my financial stability,
my financial stability,
my income,
my income,
and my financial security.
and my financial security.
And I am free to stop
And I am free to stop
managing
managing
Donnie's being a good father.
Donnie's being a good father.